A quiet, holy calm is finding you right now. Not the kind that makes you empty, the kind that makes you feel covered. Like heaven is gently turning your face away from confusion and toward what lasts. And the message is clear. Angels say this. It's not a seasonal romance. It's a permanent covenant with a younger, ready spouse. Not a fling, not a lesson, not a temporary comfort. A covenant. Before we go deeper, subscribe. Do it now. Because this channel is your place of confirmation and clarity, and the moment you leave your mind unguarded, noise will try to rewrite what peace already proved. Stay connected here so your standards stay strong and your discernment stays sharp. Here's why this matters. Seasonal romance is everywhere. It looks good at the beginning, feels intense, talks big, moves fast, and then slowly reveals what it really is. Appetite without responsibility, emotion without structure, chemistry without character. People call it love, but it leaves you uncertain. It leaves you guessing. It leaves you doing emotional work alone. Covenant does the opposite. Covenant doesn't just excite you. Covenant steadies you. Covenant doesn't just pull you close for a moment. Covenant builds a future you can stand on. Covenant grows stronger. With time, not weaker. And if your heart has been trained by unstable love, this is where you can get confused, because you may be used to love that feels loud. You may be used to love that hurts. You may be used to love that keeps you chasing. So when something clean arrives, your mind starts looking for the hidden problem. Peace feels unfamiliar, and instead of receiving it, you start interrogating it. That's why this message is necessary. Angels are not pushing you into blindness. They are pulling you out of fear. Let's define the difference in a way you can feel. Seasonal romance keeps you thirsty. Covenant keeps you nourished. Seasonal romance is strongest during the chase. Covenant is strongest after the chase ends, when real life begins. Seasonal romance loves vague language because vague language allows access without accountability. Covenant loves clarity because clarity protects destiny. Seasonal romance sounds like, let's just enjoy it. Don't pressure me. Stop overthinking. Why do you need labels? Covenant sounds like, I'm intentional. I want to build. I respect your boundaries. I want peace in our home. And the line people struggle with is the word younger. So listen carefully. Heaven does not choose by age. Heaven chooses by readiness. Age is a number. Readiness is a pattern. Some people grow older and never develop discipline. Some people grow older and still avoid accountability. Some people grow older and still treat commitment like a cage. And some people are younger, but they are already living like builders. They manage themselves. They plan. They work. They protect peace. They don't play with loyalty. They don't flirt with temptation. They don't run from responsibility. That's what younger and ready means. Not perfect. Ready. A ready spouse shows fruit that repeats. They communicate instead of disappearing. They respect boundaries without punishing you. They can take correction without turning cruel. They keep their word in small things. They care about the future, not just the moment. They don't need to be chased to show effort. They bring calm to your nervous system over time. A seasonal person can be sweet, but they're unstable. They rush intimacy and delay commitment. They love attention, but avoid responsibility. They make promises but resist planning. They show up strong, then fade when they feel secure. So angels are not telling you, ignore wisdom. Angels are telling you, use the right wisdom. Stop measuring maturity by years. Measure it by patterns. And here's a truth your heart needs to accept if you want covenant love. Peace is not a sign something is missing. Peace is often a sign something is safe. A lot of people miss their spouse because they keep choosing what activates them instead of what stabilizes them. They choose intensity, then call it destiny. They choose suspense, then call it love. They choose emotional unpredictability, then call it chemistry. But covenant doesn't play that game. Covenant builds, and covenant has foundations, not vibes. Foundations. Covenant has alignment, shared values, shared direction, shared definition of marriage, shared commitment to growth. Covenant has responsibility, not just romance, but real partnership, real communication, real planning, real ownership. Covenant has protection, boundaries, privacy, loyalty, peace, choosing each other when nobody is watching. Seasonal romance rarely carries these. That's why it fades when the season changes. Covenant isn't powered by moods. Covenant is powered by decisions. This is why time matters. Players shine in the beginning because performance works early. Builders improve with time because character becomes clearer the longer you watch. So pay attention. As time passes, do you feel safer or more anxious? Do you feel clearer or more confused? Does peace increase, or do you keep feeling like you're competing for basic effort? If peace is increasing and effort is consistent, that is not small. That is covenant language. And yes, people will talk. They will have opinions about the age difference. Some will project fear. Some will project jealousy. Some will call it wrong simply because it doesn't match what they understand. But a covenant is not built by public approval. A covenant is built by private character. You don't need the crowd to clap. You need the home to stand. So here is a mature boundary your future requires. Not everyone gets access to what God is building. Privacy is not shame. Privacy is protection. And there is another danger you must avoid if you want this to last. Confusing attachment with alignment. Attachment is bonding. Alignment is agreement. Many people bond first, then try to force agreement later. That's how they end up trapped by chemistry. Covenant moves in the right order. Values first, clarity first, character first. Then attachment can grow safely. Permanent covenant doesn't mean you ignore red flags. Permanent covenant means you stop treating love like a temporary game. It means you stop entertaining backup options. It means you stop flirting with attention for validation. It means you stop making your relationship a public discussion. It means you build like you actually want a marriage that lasts. A covenant with a younger spouse can be deeply powerful when it's real, because it forces both people into maturity. It demands humility. It demands communication. It demands shared responsibility. It demands that both people carry weight, not one person. Parenting, not one person managing, not one person over-functioning. Two adults building one home, and that's the real test right there. A ready spouse doesn't wait to be carried. They contribute. they protect, they plan, they lead themselves, they bring effort that repeats. So hold this truth close. If this is covenant, it will not collapse under honest conversation. Covenant doesn't fear clarity. Covenant welcomes it because it protects destiny. And there's a reason angels are pressing this into your spirit today. Because the habits that ruin covenant usually don't show up as big disasters at first. They show up as small, careless choices, overexposure, outside opinions, rushed intimacy, vague intentions, unaddressed disrespect, unspoken resentment, silent punishment, and fear-driven sabotage. That's what we're going to deal with next. The exact habits that silently destroy covenant. The clear signs a younger spouse is truly ready in character. And how to build a relationship that survives opinions, survives seasons, survives temptation, and becomes a peaceful home that lasts. The habits that destroy covenant rarely walk in wearing a loud warning sign. They arrive softly. They sound reasonable. They hide inside small choices that people excuse every day. And because they look small, people don't fight them. They tolerate them. Then months later, they look back and wonder how something so promising became so heavy. So if angels are saying this is not seasonal, then the next instruction is not emotional. It is practical. Treat what is sacred like it is sacred. Covenant is not only about who you are with. Covenant is about how you build. Here are the quiet covenant killers. And I want you to listen like a builder, not like someone being entertained. The first covenant killer is overexposure. Too many people knowing too much, too soon, too many updates, too many screenshots, too many opinions sitting inside your relationship like extra roommates. A covenant cannot grow properly when it is constantly being handled by outsiders. This is why privacy is powerful, not secrecy. Privacy. Privacy says, we are protecting what is still growing. Privacy says, we are letting fruit speak. Privacy says, we don't need the crowd to approve what heaven already confirmed. If you want this to last, you cannot run to everyone after every disagreement. You cannot invite people into your home emotionally before the home is even built. You cannot let friends who love drama shape your marriage mindset. Covenant needs clean space. The second covenant killer is vague intention. Seasonal people love vague language. Let's see, let's vibe. No pressure. Vague intention keeps you emotionally attached while keeping them unaccountable. Covenant doesn't live there. Covenant requires clarity. A younger, ready spouse will not fear clarity. They will respect it. They will want to be clear because they value time and they value you. A person who keeps you guessing is not building a home. They are building access. So the rule is simple. If this is covenant, clarity will not scare it. Clarity will strengthen it. The third covenant killer is rushed intimacy without established trust. People can bond fast and still not be aligned. People can feel close fast and still be unsafe. People can have deep chemistry and still have shallow character. That's how seasonal romance traps good hearts. Covenant moves with wisdom. Covenant doesn't rush what requires protection. Covenant doesn't confuse desire with readiness. Covenant builds trust through consistent behavior, not through emotional intensity. If a person is pressuring you to move fast, but avoiding serious conversations, that's not covenant posture. That's appetite. The fourth covenant killer is unspoken. Resentment. Resentment is not always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It builds when someone keeps swallowing their truth to keep peace. But swallowing your truth does not keep peace. It creates bitterness, and bitterness slowly poisons love. Covenant requires healthy communication. It requires you to speak with respect, not with fear. It requires you to address issues early, before they become identity statements. A mature spouse does not want you silently suffering. So if you are the type who goes quiet, then explodes later, this is your growth. Point. Speak earlier. Speak kinder. Speak clearer. Your future home deserves emotional honesty without emotional violence. The fifth covenant killer is silent punishment. Some people punish through silence. They withhold affection. They withdraw. They become cold. They make the other person guess. That is not maturity. That is control. Covenant does not punish. Covenant repairs. Repair is one of the clearest signs of readiness. You want a spouse who can handle conflict without turning cruel. You want someone who can say, "I was wrong," without making it a war. You want someone who can hear you without turning defensive. You want someone who can fix what they broke instead of acting like accountability is disrespect. Now, because this covenant is with a younger spouse, there's one area people worry about most: temptation. So let's be honest about temptation. Temptation is not an age problem. Temptation is a boundary problem. Temptation is a character problem. Temptation is a discipline problem. A younger spouse who is ready will show you discipline before marriage. They will avoid compromising situations. They will not entertain attention like a hobby. They will not keep secret conversations. They will not flirt with disrespect. They will not act single while claiming you. That is readiness. And you also have a responsibility. If you want covenant, you cannot keep feeding your ego with outside attention and call it harmless. Some people sabotage marriages before they even start by staying addicted to validation. They don't want to be single, but they want to feel wanted by everyone. That hunger becomes a crack in the foundation. Covenant requires focus, one direction, one home, one standard. Now let's move into the clearest signs your younger spouse is truly ready for a permanent covenant. Because this is what your audience needs to recognize early. A ready spouse has a plan. Not a fantasy, a plan. They can speak about the future with structure. They don't just say, "one day." They can talk about timelines, priorities, and what they are doing now to prepare. A ready spouse is consistent after the excitement settles. Many people are consistent while chasing. The test is what happens after they feel secure. Do they keep showing up? Do they keep communicating? Do they keep honoring you? A ready spouse respects boundaries without mood changes. They don't become cold when you say no. They don't punish you for moving wisely. They don't try to rush you with guilt. They respect you more when you protect yourself. A ready spouse values peace. They don't create drama for entertainment. They don't thrive on arguing. They don't use jealousy as proof of love. They want a calm home. A ready spouse is accountable. They can admit wrong. They can adjust. They don't twist the story to avoid responsibility. They don't blame you for their behavior. A ready spouse protects your dignity. They don't embarrass you in public. They don't make jokes that reduce you. They speak about you with honor. They guard your name. A ready spouse treats your purpose with respect. They don't mock your goals. They don't compete with your calling. They don't sabotage your discipline. They support what you're building. That's covenant behavior. That's spouse fruit. Now, there's a question that quietly sits inside a lot of people listening. What if this is covenant, but I'm scared? Fear is normal when you have been hurt. Fear is normal when you have been disappointed. Fear is normal when you've invested in people who didn't invest back. Fear is normal when you've watched marriages fail around you. Fear is normal when your past trained your nervous system to brace. But fear cannot be your leader. Here is how you move forward without being reckless and without being ruled by fear. You slow down enough to observe. You communicate enough to be clear. You watch patterns enough to trust wisely. You hold boundaries enough to stay protected. You take time enough to let fruit prove itself. That is wise love. Not anxious love, not fantasy love. Wise love. Because covenant doesn't need you to be naive. Covenant needs you to be mature. Now let's address the biggest sabotage people do when they sense covenant. They try to control the future. They want guarantees. They want proof instantly. They want certainty before trust has even been built. So they start over-checking, over-questioning, over-interpreting, and overreacting. They turn small moments into big fears. They punish the other person for not reading their mind. They create storms, then ask why peace disappeared. So here is a strong truth. You cannot build covenant while acting like love is an emergency. You build covenant by building consistency. Consistency is what trains trust. Trust is what creates peace. Peace is what makes a home possible. Now, I want to speak to the listener who is older than the younger spouse, because this is a special dynamic. If you're older, you might feel pressure to be the wiser one. In every situation, you might feel like you always have to be in control. You might even feel embarrassed to admit you need support. Release that. A covenant relationship is not about one person always being strong. It's about both people being responsible. Allow yourself to be supported. Allow yourself to be poured into. Allow yourself to receive, and don't turn your maturity into a weapon. Sometimes, people who are older start talking down or correcting too harshly. Not realizing it slowly creates resentment. Speak as a partner, not as a parent. Covenant requires respect in both directions. And for the younger spouse, readiness means they don't try to prove themselves through ego. They don't treat leadership like dominance. They treat leadership like service. They show stability. They show humility. They show consistency. That balance is what makes age difference a strength instead of a weakness. Now, let's talk about what permanent covenant requires daily. Because a lot of people love the idea of covenant, but they don't understand the habits that maintain it. Permanent covenant requires daily honor. How you speak, how you listen, how you correct, how you respond when you're tired, how you handle stress, how you handle jealousy, how you handle money, how you handle attention. Permanent. Covenant requires daily discipline, not flirting for validation, not entertaining harmless DMs, not comparing your relationship to other people's highlights, not letting small disrespect become normal. Permanent covenant requires daily repair. If something goes wrong, you don't punish. You talk. You fix it. You don't collect offenses like trophies. You solve problems like adults. Permanent covenant requires daily protection. You talk, you fix it. You don't collect offenses like trophies. You solve problems like adults. Permanent covenant requires daily protection. You protect the relationship from outsiders. You protect your private life. You protect your home environment. You protect your peace. This is what makes covenant permanent. Not emotion, not romance alone. Habits. And if angels are telling you this is covenant, they are also telling you, build like it. So here is the final shift I want your audience to carry as they leave this message. Stop calling everything a lesson. Stop preparing for disappointment. Stop treating stable love like it's suspicious. Stop choosing intensity over integrity. Stop letting people's opinions confuse your peace. Stop entertaining seasonal energy when heaven is offering covenant. Choose protection. Choose peace. Now take action right now. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because this channel is your training ground for covenant thinking, and staying connected keeps your standards from slipping when life gets loud. Like this message so it reaches someone who keeps chasing seasonal romance and wondering why they feel empty. Come and covenant over chaos to lock your decision in, and share this with one person. Who needs to hear that peace is not boring, it's protection? Angels say this is not a seasonal romance. It's a permanent covenant with a younger, ready spouse. And when you build with wisdom, protect with boundaries, and move with peace, what is meant to last will not collapse. It will grow. It will strengthen. It will become the kind of home you once thought was only possible for other people.